12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Keep it up, guys. Check three.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And now nothing but green ahead of him. 30, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Chris Carson, 69 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, they said they wanted to have some explosive runs. How about that one to start the game?
And I would say on the defensive sideline, there's a lot to answer for. Because you spend all week saying, stop the run. I don't care who you're playing. You don't want to get run over. You don't want to get run past. And they got both over-committing in the secondary, and he just went stepping past them and is still running, essentially.
One play, and he hits pay dirt.
Keep playing.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. The first carry now. This is Williams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. In this defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Under crunch. Check 31.
They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. Williams loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Here we go. Attack. Keep the mic, Charlie. Keep the mic.
On 2nd and 9, Mahomes. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle.
Switch. Check.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Being chased out left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack. The start of this game shaping up nicely on that visiting sideline.
Yeah, how about that? You get your points on the opening drive. Then you get a big sack there on 3rd down, and you make the home crowd go, shh.
There is a hush indeed. And the play clock about to expire. Andy Reid notices it and takes a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field.
Let's make these babies crawl all the way back home. 15.
They do go for it. It's Mahomes. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Quentin Jefferson, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Well, that, my friend, I guess is the definition of a head-scratcher. 4th and long, this stage of the game, what were they doing?
I just have to believe that he looked at the situation, still in the first half, decided if there was a time to be aggressive, now was it, because there's still time to make up for it if things don't go right. Of course, a lot of questions on this one, and look, I want to go for it as much as anyone.
But 4th and long?
Yeah, I don't think I would have there. That one seemed a little bit on the irrational side.
Fans might be a little angry at that one. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Wilson. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe...
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Emmanuel Agba. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. If you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go.
On 3rd down, Wilson. He may try and run for this. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a first down, and inside the 5-yard line.
They'll try to run with Carson, and he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Chris Carson with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and through by Myers, and that'll make the score 14-0. That time a 6-play drive, and it was all capped off by the Chris Carson touchdown run. This one taken from the 7. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. That often runs you into a penalty.
4 yards there on the carry. Gets it back to 2nd and 11.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism. They created some nice space for him.
Come on, D. Check 24. Check 24.
Hey, 15.
Rush in.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mahomes steps away to his left. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 69 yards, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get him in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 now at the game. We still got a good game going ahead of us. And he will get into the end zone to shave 2 more points off the deficit. So they kept it on the ground, got it into the end zone. But, Charles, sometimes you probably see teams treat a 2-point conversion differently than if it was first and goal from the 2, or I should say third and goal from the 2.
I agree with you totally on that. A lot of teams treat it as if they have farther to go and shy away from running the football. I think this is a great spot to do it because most teams play you for the pass. Go ahead and run and let your linemen surge and fire out.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This will be taken about the 12. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. From the gun, it's Wilson. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
They get just 2 out of it there, and it's 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Let's go, dude. Let's go.
A 2nd down carry for Procise. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
That's it, baby. We don't work.
And now here comes Kansas City. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Hey, Sunday, on Sunday, on Sunday, on Sunday.
Mahomes now on 1st down. Buying time to his left. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Williams. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3.
Mike 50, Mike 50. Mike 50, Mike 50.
Now here's Mahomes. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. That goes for a Chiefs 1st down, 14 yards.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Now Williams. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. 2nd quarter from Arrowhead. It's the Chiefs in possession as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, 17, George. Watch 17. Quad.
Now Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. Wide open, complete. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. As his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. Now he's having a nice little first half for your partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Andy Reid never one to shy away from taking chances. He'll go for 2. They'll try and run it with McCoy. And he is into the end zone to give him a 2-point lead. So 2 successful 2-point tries now for them.
And you know what it does? It gives you a boost, a huge one for your team because, hey, you're dominating them now. They can't stop you either scoring touchdowns or 2-point conversions. But how about the defense? You don't know what to do at this stage. You can't stop them in any direction.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Throwing on 2nd down. Wilson is complete to Lockett. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Mike. Mike. Hey, let's get that ball again. Let's get that ball right here. Mike.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
This throw complete. Wilson finding Lockett.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
The last play on the completion got him half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Open man is Ursua. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Tyreek Hill making his way back out towards the huddle. We're in the 2nd quarter. He already has 2 touchdowns. We know how good he is. That's well documented. How do you contain him?
We know he's a nightmare. So in this situation, I would go ahead and double him, maybe even have a 3rd person in the area, and try and dissuade them from throwing him the football. Make someone else beat me for a while, because I don't know that their talents are his, because when he gets his hands on the ball, he breaks down my entire D. Someone else, they may not make the same type of a play.
Well, we know his talents are very good.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Check. Scene 6. 50, Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
On 2nd and 7, Mahomes. That's complete to Robinson. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
I don't need to. Get in the weight room. Tighten up. Check.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he loses the football a 2nd time. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, it's Carson. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and the nose of the football. Now Wilson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Frank Clark with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. They get the sack on the blitz, but it was 3rd and inches. Are you surprised like I am they weren't running the football there?
I'm right there with you. I would have thought it worst. Quarterback sneak, try and pick up the 1st down and move on. But instead, I think they thought they could catch him by surprise and maybe hit something deep.
So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good 3-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though? When they only gave up the field goal, and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive, a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
To throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes, complete, the tight end Kelsey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 1st down for the Chiefs, solid chunk of yardage, 17 on the play. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Check nickel. Shift, watch the shift.
A give to Williams, running right. Shaquille Griffin in on the stop defensively.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mahomes. Under pressure here, and down he goes. sack back at about the 43-yard line. Jadeveon Clowney picks up his second sack of the afternoon. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. That's their second, so they'll have one remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back.
Yellow. All right,
54, right? 54. They're going to need some therapy after this.
Right there. 54. Right there. Right there. 54, Mike.
You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me.
On third and long, it's Mahomes. Forced out to his left. And it's complete to Kelsey. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 31-yard line. A reminder coming up here at halftime. We'll ship you off to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman will have first-half highlights and analysis from a back-and-forth first half that we've seen. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. He was looking for Watkins that time. That'll bring up second down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back. But that's one step in the proper direction.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Mahomes now to throw. It's Kelsey on the ground. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A well-executed 22-yard gain. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
Mike's 50. Mike's 50.
Check. Mike's 50, Mike's 50.
And again, it's Mahomes. The quick slant caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight.
They'll try to run it in. It's Williams. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Chiefs are going to jump back in front.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Are you looking forward?
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
They'll look to run for it with Williams. And he will get into the end zone again, and he seems to have a nose for it as he gets both the touchdown and the two-point conversion. Only had a couple of yards to gain there on the two-point conversion, and they were able to do it.
And how many teams shy away from running the football in the two-point conversion? They treat 2 yards as if it were 20. If you're a good team running the ball, go to your strength. Go ahead and push it into the end zone.
Yeah, they did. It worked.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Chris Carson trotting back out there. Now he's having himself a little bit of a banner game. His team right now, though, losing.
Needs a little bit of help, and I kind of equate it to a basketball game where you have the big score, and sometimes your strategy is, okay, he can go ahead and have all of his points. Let's hold down everyone else, and that's the way you win the game. And right now, he needs everyone else to start scoring, quote-unquote, as he's been.
Yeah, he's hoping to keep it close so maybe they can keep it on the ground, not start to go through the air as much. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. To throw is Wilson. That's complete to DK Metcalf. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. That's complete to Disley, the tight end.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, he couldn't turn it into much more.
And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Here's Wilson to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. So we've come upon halftime, an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Ready for the start of the 3rd quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. This is taken at his 4. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15.
Hey, watch it, watch it.
Attack!
Looking to throw is Mahomes. Caught, Kelsey, left side. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Let's go deep, tighten up.
Here's Mahomes to throw. It's Hill, complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 18. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Andy Reid never one to shy away from taking chances. He'll go for 2. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. So they go with a pass there on the 2-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their 2-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have 2-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Carson, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Wilson, after the play fake to Carson, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle and friendly partner. It's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play-action fade.
Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Now it's Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 1st down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On 1st down, Procise. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
From the 39, Wilson, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. There he goes left side. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. DK Metcalf, 66 yards. As they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. And you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Hey, check Mike 50. Go. 50, check Mike 50. I'm here all day.
On 2nd and very short, Mahomes. It's complete to Robinson. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 43. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Watch twitch. Switch.
On On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes dancing to his left. And going deep and this is caught. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 43 yards. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner.
Under 10, under 10, 10.
They'll look to run for it with Williams. And make them 4 for 4 now on 2-point conversions as he'll take this one in for the score. And so they run it in on the 2-point try. You know, so often, Charles, we talk about from the offense's perspective what you do on the 2-point conversion. How about the defense? How do they play run versus pass?
It's really difficult for them because I think most teams want to play for the pass. That's what they see most teams do. And so are you able to mass enough people inside if the team decides to run it? Very difficult. I think what you're seeing a lot more now, people blitzing the 2-point conversion. They want you to make a quick decision and make it right now.
There, the offense wins the battle for 2. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Wilson, the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll begin the drive with Carson. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
From the 31, Wilson. He hits his running back, Procise. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. Wilson now 13 of 15 passing. That's good for 87%. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Carson. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
They run again with Carson. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback lane on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there. And he's got his target. That's more. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 40.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory right at the 40. Here's Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. And give him a gain of 37. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown.
Challenge play. Resume.
Chris Carson there to make the grab as his guys are able to pull a bit closer. And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. It'll be Carson. They run for it. And he got it on the touchdown run, but he won't get in here. He'll be stopped short, and they'll come up empty on the try for 2.
Well, partner, since this new two-point rule came into play, offenses spend a lot more time working on it. That means the defenses are doing the exact same thing.
This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Trying to fight his tight end, Kelsey, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Kelsey, the intended receiver there. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Like a freight train there, Derek Nottie with a sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
On second down now. It's Carson, and he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Jones able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. We're back now in KC. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. And this one is right down the middle. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3 and out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense. Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Mahomes now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Throwing now is Mahomes, being chased out left. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And now the ball's out, fumble near midfield. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Chris Jones, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Throwing is Wilson, rolling to his left. He'll try and run it. Excellent work that time to get free, and for his exploits, he's going to be left with just a 3rd and 3. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Mahomes going to throw. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
I know when you're looking at the scoreboard clock, we're getting near the end of this game, but they were in what was really called 4-minute offense, and that's practice, meaning taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Chris Jones, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Now Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. On 3rd down, Carson. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They'll go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, he might reduce it, might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or two, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse.
8 ounce. 8 ounce is good.
All right, just checking.
The Chiefs offense and Tyreek Hill heading back out onto the field. So far, he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously, it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this. What a tremendous game.
You want to start a new tradition? What can we throw on the field?
I don't know.
Throw your mic out there.
A lot of fans would like that. Cut his mic off.
3 touchdowns so far.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Let's go. Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Let's go.
Mahomes will try again on 2nd down. It's Kelsey on the ground. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage, 17 on the play. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
Yeah, that, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Mahomes now on first down. This is caught by Robinson. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first. And now he's closing in on 450 yards passing.
That's an incredible number. I mean, you're talking about the best defenders in the world that you're trying to throw the ball against, and you're creating that type of a number. Fantastic job, fantastic performance. And he's going to have to ice up his arm afterwards, too.
Hey, Ripley.
Mike's 54. Mike's 54.
They'll run on first down. It's Williams, and he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Working from the gun, Mahomes, and it's complete. It's Damian Williams. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 17-yard line. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
15.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking to throw is Mahomes. That is caught at the 7. Oh, no, he lost the football. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. It's first and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away.
Mike's 50. Mike's 50. Zoom, fellas, let's go. Mike's 50. Mike's 50.
Mahomes going to throw it here. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
That's a touchdown out here.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a two-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
So now a big spot here as the Chiefs will indeed go for 2. They'll look to run for it with Williams. And they're a perfect 5 for 5 now on 2-point conversions as he is in to get them 2 more. And they're able to ground it in there on the 2-point try. And you and I were talking before the game. the two-point conversions from the 15-16 season. What has changed? What hasn't changed, partner?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's changed is just your normal strategy, because now you're either kicking the football with the ball on the 15-yard line, or if you decide to go for two, they put it on the 2-yard line. So what are you thinking as a coach? Do I risk it? Do I go for it here? Do I try and gain a strategic advantage and maybe go for two early? That's what people are wondering about.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time, and now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
We're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And this will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Check 53. Check back, check back.
On first down, Wilson. Looking sideline, incomplete.
Well, you know you don't want to make a mistake in that area, so you make sure you make a smart throw. Throw it out towards the sidelines. If you overshoot your guy, so be it. It's just the incompletion that we saw there.
To throw again on second down, Wilson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're making a stand right.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Hill, the intended receiver once again, and that'll bring up second down.
Check three.
Mahomes to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Sponge. No. Showing up.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Out to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
It was no secret who they were trying to get the football to.
Well, no. They went to him on 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, all 3 incomplete.
Yeah, and when you're unable to connect and you force it in that direction, all you're doing is giving confidence to the defense. They feel like they're really hurting you in a big way.
50. Too low, cut.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. And that is incomplete. Andy Reid went for it, but it won't pan out. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. So they've gone for it twice now on fourth down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ballgame. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. He's back to throw. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and it's 3rd down. So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. One last shot for Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Well, Charles, a pretty exhilarating finish to this ball game at the end. The Hail Mary prayers, though they went unanswered. Could have won it, but couldn't get it done.
Entering schoolyard or players test team Casey.
Yeah, you remember when you called that play? Everybody just go long and try and find someone open. They gave it a shot, but unable to successfully complete it.
Team ski, team ski, team K, team case, team ski, team K, team ski, team KC. Post, finished aim.